All right, good evening and welcome to the Lambda Theta Alpha Foundation Summer Internship Informational. I am so excited to be here to communicate with you and to share our opportunities that we have for students and non-students. This meeting is being recorded, so if you would like to be on the recording, feel free to leave your video on, but if you prefer not to, feel free to turn it off. Either way, we welcome you and we really appreciate your energy. So the way the format for today is going to go, I'm going to go through an informational type slideshow. Feel free to stop me at any moment with questions, or if you feel more comfortable, you can type them in the chat, and at the end, I can answer any of them that you may have. There are some questions that I've received already through email from people who were unable to join live today. So when you're watching this recording, I want to say thank you for your interest. Thank you for thinking in advance to send questions, because I was able to tailor the presentation as such. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen and now share the presentation. All right. Well, as I mentioned before, again, thank you so much for joining our informational today. Today, we're going to be talking about ways that we advance our communities, and especially through the internship program. This is not our first year doing the internship, so I just want to, first of all, give a huge shout out to our past interns. They really were here in the middle of the pandemic when it first started, so we were able to really take action almost immediately when the pandemic was declared, thanks to having this internship program. So we look forward to seeing what kind of exciting successes that we have during the summer with this next cohort. So again, if I haven't said this yet, my name is Dr. Denise Christina Vido. I am the president of the Lambda Theta Alpha Foundation, and I am really excited to be here because the internship is one of my favorite parts of the foundation, aside from our run, but I won't go there right now. So just some brief history so you could understand our why. We were founded in 2015 by 3 members of the sorority of Lambda Theta Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated. That sorority is separate from the foundation. However, we have a strong partnership. We were founded in collaboration with them. In fact, we were founded almost for the purpose to have LTA members to be able to support a foundation that gives back directly to the community. Since then, we have expanded. We've had numerous board members come join throughout the years. We started off with 4 positions, as you can see here listed, and now we have expanded. So here you can see our current leadership. We have our advisor, Merlix Reynolds. We have our ex officio member, which you can see here is a member of Lambda Theta Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated, the president. And then you can see all of our current directors and vice presidents. So there goes me, the president, Denise Vido. We have our vice president of finance, which is Brittany Rich. We have our vice president of administration, Jenna Ortiz. We have our vice president of communications, Damaris Garcia. Our vice president of operations, Dr. Jessica Islam, and our vice president of development, Amber Bolden. I wanted to make sure that I said all of their names and their positions, because throughout the internship, you will have the direct opportunity to collaborate with these women and really learn what the skills that they have. It just really depends on which pillar that you're going to be dedicated to throughout the summer. In addition to that, we also have directors. So you can see here, we have the Director of Educational Programming, which is Victoria Vega. And then we have our Director of Scholarship, which is Nuri Castro. She's definitely pretty busy right now because we are in the middle of our scholarship campaign. So our scholarship season, I should say. So we give out 17 scholarships for $1,000 each every year for high school students, undergrads, grads, and doctoral students. So that's something that the intern will be able to assist with if possible. And then we have 2 assistants, assistant to the president, which is Elisa Doctor, and then the assistant to the vice president of administration, Alma. So we really appreciate our leadership. We appreciate our volunteers, because as a nonprofit organization, no one on this slide is receiving funding. So this is all really true to our belief in our vision. So without further ado, I'd like to share with you our vision. The vision of the Lambda Theta Alpha Foundation is to have a community committed to education attainment for all. So that means everyone being able to have education in a world where everyone can acquire assistance, protection, and rehabilitation from the effects of unprecedented natural disasters. Now, I know if you're watching this recording anywhere near 2022 or close to, that word unprecedented, that is like something everyone knows now since we just finished where we were living through a pandemic. But this is the vision that we had back in 2015. And we're just so lucky that we had the foundation to be able to carry out our mission. So what is our mission? Our mission is to advance the community specifically through 3 pillars. And those pillars are scholarship, humanitarian relief, and educational programming. So you'll notice that even if you're if you're not following us yet, LTA Foundation on Instagram, you'll notice that we have these pillars, and they're actually color coordinated. Thank you to our Vice President of Communications. So it's easy to quickly scan to see what you're interested in viewing. But the point is that everything that we do is tied to these pillars. And that is no different when it comes to the internship program. So the pillars in more detail are described here. First, we have our scholarship pillar. So you can see that is what I have already started talking about because we're currently in that season. We give out 17 scholarships for $1,000 each. So you could see here that since 2018, we've given out about 68 scholarships, and we look forward to the 17 that we're about to give out this year. Next, we have humanitarian relief. Now, this is actually what drew me to the foundation back when Hurricane Maria and Hurricane Irma, I don't know if you are aware of these, but it basically had all of Florida evacuating because we didn't know where we were going to go. So luckily, this foundation was in existence, and I was able to donate my time and help others through that. And I just never left because I loved it so much. So here we have your humanitarian relief. Here we give relief awards through financial stipends. We also coordinate, supply giveaways. Sometimes we give direct action grants so that the community members can give direct action into their communities. It's one thing for us to just provide resources globally, or not globally, like literally, but in a wide span of things. But to be able to empower communities to take direct action, that's really what our mission is about. And then finally, but certainly not least, we have our educational programming pillar. And this pillar is really where we're focused on educating the community. This year, of course, it looked a little bit like a lot of COVID information, but before that, we were giving out other things, talking about public health. We also sponsor speakers at the Lambda Theta Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated National Convention. So it's a very big part of our foundation, our mission, to be able to educate while we provide this humanitarian relief, while also giving scholarships. So thank you for all those. If you're watching this, if you've ever donated or participated or received any funding, just thank you. Thank you for engaging with us and sharing your energy. So without further ado, now let's talk about this internship program. So first of all, this internship program has a purpose, and our purpose is really to provide multidisciplinary opportunities to students and non-students. And now this is not just to have opportunities to have it. These opportunities are so that they can have these hands-on experiences in preparation for their future endeavors. And you'll notice that we didn't say future careers or future jobs. No. We're talking about future endeavors because this foundation provides so many resources and so many opportunities to grow that you can have not just career-related growth when it comes to skill. So the other thing I want to highlight here is that in traditional settings, internship programs are limited to enrolled students at universities or enrolled, certain. We are open to the community. So when it's called an internship, but it's really open for maybe people who haven't had the opportunity to obtain internships traditionally. So here we are trying to expand access to these opportunities. So right there, you'll notice the next few slides are always going to have this link on the bottom. That's the link if you want to go ahead and apply for our internship. And for those of you who may not be able to see the screen, it's a bit.ly link, and it's bit.ly/capital LTAF, capital S, and then the rest is it Summer Intern in lowercase. So it's LTAF Summer Intern. So how can you engage? We talked about the mission and the purpose and the mission of the foundation and the purpose of the internship. So how can we actually engage with it? Well, this program will be in alignment with the foundations by pillar. So we just went through our 3 main pillars that we have and that we dedicate our time to. So you'll notice that these are just examples. These are things that we've already had in the past. So we already have a template built out for these programs, but we are very open to any future scholars that have an innovative idea on how they can engage with our foundation. So as you can see here is the top 5 examples that I can give. Number 1 is public health. And this type of intern will be directly in alignment with our educational programming pillar. I can just tell you now that this type of internship program is going to be putting together intervention programs, prevention programs, educational campaigns. You'll notice, and if you haven't noticed, I'm going to tell you now, we do a Wellness Wednesday on our Instagram. So we have these images that we're trying to educate passively. These are things that this public health intern can do. In addition, not to, have any competitiveness, but no, let me stop. Grants. Last time we had a public health intern, we actually had them win a grant from Amazon. So you can see they're the ones that brought it to us, the opportunity, and we actually benefited from that. So the opportunities are really limitless. You can design it how you want it to be. There's also disaster preparedness. We're going to be starting the internship right at the beginning of hurricane season. So we can certainly use help with our disaster toolkits and marketing and fundraising campaign there. There's also opportunities for those who have nonprofit management interests. So if you want to work closely with our scholarship pillar and that whole operations team to see how things really move from an operational standpoint, that's an internship opportunity for you. And then finally, but certainly not least, we have our web design and our marketing interns. And these 2 interns are really across all pillars. It's kind of like a taste of everything. So really the Renaissance men and women, and these are the place for the Renaissance, right? So again, you'll see the link at the bottom of the screen. I just want to reiterate, though, that although these are some examples, we are really open to building a precision. I almost said precision medicine because I'm so used to talking about that in my other hat, but really a precision approach, because this internship is really to be mutually beneficial and advance you in your endeavors. So we have our timeline. So this slide is actually thanks to the questions that I received prior to the informational. So here we have our timeline listed by date. So today, I didn't put today's date, but today is the 4th, and this is when we're having our informational. Applications have been open, and I know already they have been shared. So thank you for already asking about those, about the link. So you can see here that the applications can be found here, but it's also found on our social media, I'm sure on the link tree. You'll see that they open on May 5th of 2022. On May 16th, we will let the applications know what their status is based on the review of the applications. So just so you know, the applications go through a review within a committee of the board. Then we send them to the full board for a final approval. So it goes through 2 different review processes. Then on May 23rd, the applicant themselves has the decision of whether or not they want to accept. This is the deadline. So we know that sometimes there are future interns that are applying to multiple programs. So just like it is when, we're going to grad school or anything like that, we'll wait for the decision deadline and acceptance letter to be signed. And the deadline is May 23rd. So then with that, you'll have some onboarding after that. And then June 6th is the official first day of the internship. So the internship begins on 6/6/2022. And then on August 4th, 2022, you'll see that we have a celebration of gratitude. So this is where the board is going to just be I'm pretty celebratory as a person. So this is where we just give thanks for their time and for their expertise, because really it's your expertise that's being lent to us. And we really appreciate that and recognize it. And then finally, which is probably the sad day for me, but August 8th, 2022 is the last official duties that is the intern. And yes, you may notice that is a Monday. But the thing is that sometimes there's like final last minute paperwork or files being transferred, things like that. So we just give it the extra day. And to be honest, I'm a numerologist and the date is 8/8. So I really got excited about that. So with that, I just want to say again, thank you for your interest in the program. Here is our timeline. Everything is already available. So if you go to this link, you can find our application. If you ever get lost, always go to our home base, which is ltafoundation.org. So with that, I want to just bring us back to our vision. This is why we're here. The LTA Foundation, Lambda Theta Alpha Foundation, is here because we envision a community that's committed to educational attainment for all. And I really want to stop there because this is really the premise behind having this internship program, because it's one thing where not everyone has access to higher education. So therefore, not everyone has access to all of these different types of internship programs. So again, thank you for your interest, and we really do look forward to receiving your applications. So with that, I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen and hold the floor if there's any questions. And I'll stop the recording here.